Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video, we're going to talk about people who don't post their photos on social media and the secret reasons behind this behavior. And I think this is such a fascinating topic because we live in a world where everyone is constantly sharing everything, every meal, every moment, every milestone, yet some people choose to stay completely off the feeds. And somehow, these people who don't post seem to have more peace, more clarity, and more confidence than everyone else who's constantly documenting their lives for strangers to see. So if you've ever wondered what's really going on with people who don't post their photos, or if you're someone who doesn't post much yourself and you've been made to feel like something's wrong with you, stick with me. Because I'm going to break down the secret reasons why people choose not to post their photos and what this behavior actually signals about their character, their confidence, and their priorities in life. The first secret reason is that people who don't post their photos don't need external validation, and this is one of the most powerful signs of true confidence and self-security. When someone doesn't feel the need to document and share every part of their life with the world, it shows that they're deeply secure in themselves and don't need likes, comments, or approval from strangers. Their growth is sacred to them. It's private. It's not something they need to broadcast to the world for recognition. They're not ashamed of their life. They're just anchored in it and validate themselves internally. And here's the thing, confidence doesn't need to announce itself. It doesn't need to perform for an audience. It walks into a room quietly, and everyone notices it anyway, because it's genuine. People who don't post their photos often have that kind of quiet confidence. They like themselves, and they don't need anyone else to like them or approve of them to feel whole and complete. In a world that's obsessed with external validation and constantly seeking approval from others, choosing not to participate in that cycle is actually incredibly powerful and shows a level of self-awareness most people never reach. The second secret reason is that people who don't post their photos have consciously decided to trade attention for peace, and this is something that doesn't get talked about nearly enough in our culture today. In a culture that confuses exposure with connection and visibility with value, these people intentionally opt out because they know that the most important parts of their life don't need to be shared with everyone. They don't want to turn their joy into content for recognition. They don't want to perform their happiness for an audience. They just want to live their life on their own terms without constant scrutiny. They protect their peace the way some people protect their image. They understand the cost of constant visibility, and they've decided that being unseen is actually more valuable than being constantly accessible to everyone. Being accessible to everyone all the time is exhausting. It opens you up to judgment, comparison, and unnecessary opinions from people who don't even know you or care about your well-being at all. People who don't post their photos have decided that their peace is more valuable than attention. They'd rather be unseen and grounded than visible and drained by the constant pressure to perform and share. And honestly, that's a level of self-awareness and emotional intelligence that most people never reach because they're too caught up in the validation cycle to even recognize how much it's draining them. The third secret reason is that people who don't post their photos aren't missing out on life. They're actually mastering their craft and building something real while everyone else is busy documenting and performing. Silence is often mistaken for absence, but for these people, silence is where the real work is happening, where the real growth is taking place, where the real transformation is occurring without an audience watching. They're creating, building, focusing on who they're becoming rather than who they're showing themselves to be. They're not off the grid. They're just on their own path and don't feel the need to document every step. While everyone else is busy posting about what they're doing, these people are actually doing it. They're not checking in with strangers. They're checking in with themselves and making real progress in their lives. They're not falling behind. They're so much further ahead because they're focused on progress rather than performance, on substance rather than image, on building rather than broadcasting to the world. Mastery in anything requires undivided attention, and when you're constantly documenting your life for social media, you're splitting your focus between living the experience and capturing it for others to see. People who don't post their photos understand this deeply. They're not posting about it because they're in it. They're fully present in their own life, and that presence allows them to grow in ways others can't. The fourth secret reason is that people who don't post their photos are highly selective about who gets access to them, and this isn't about being antisocial, it's about being energetically discerning and wise. They know what happens when you give too many people access to your life, your energy, your nervous system. It drains you. It opens you up to unnecessary drama, opinions, and comparisons that serve no purpose. So they move in silence, they share selectively, they speak when it adds value rather than when it adds noise, and their privacy is a boundary that protects their peace and their energy from being depleted. And that boundary is what makes their presence so potent when they do choose to show up, because they're not everywhere all the time, they're selective, and that selectivity creates value and depth in their connections. These people aren't chasing the pack, they're building their own path. They're not trying to fit in or be liked by everyone, they're focused on the people who actually matter to them and building real relationships. Now, I want to address something important here. I'm not saying that posting on social media makes you insecure or that you need to delete all your accounts to be confident or have peace in your life. Social media can be a great tool for staying connected with people you care about, sharing your passions with others, building a business, or creating a community around something you believe in and want to share. What I am saying is that people who don't post their photos often have a level of self-assurance, peace, and emotional intelligence that's really admirable and worth understanding and learning from if you're struggling. They're not hiding from the world. They're not insecure about how they look. They've just outgrown the need to be seen by everyone and have found peace in living privately rather than publicly performing their lives. And if you're someone who doesn't post much, don't let anyone make you feel like something's wrong with you. You're not missing out, you're not antisocial. You're just choosing peace over performance, and that's powerful. The truth is, you don't need to be loud to be powerful. You don't need to be public to be growing. You don't need to be seen by everyone to be significant or to live a meaningful life. The most confident, grounded, and successful people I know are often the ones who share the least. They're too busy building their life to document it for strangers, too focused on their growth to worry about what others think. So if you're someone who doesn't post your photos, keep doing what you're doing. Your silence is not weakness, it's strength. Your privacy is not insecurity, it's wisdom. And your peace is more valuable than any likes. So that's all I have for this one. If you found this helpful or thought-provoking, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content like this that helps you understand human behavior. Let me know in the comments, do you post your photos on social media? And if not, what's your reason? I'd love to hear your perspective on this topic and learn from your experiences as well. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.